Folks. Yes, thank you for tuning in. This is live stream number 2 for Miranda Gibson. I'm just lining up the stream. What you're going to see here right now is we're going to restream from her archives part 2. And for those of you watching this in the archives or on YouTube, there's 18 videos, so there'll be a slight break ever so quickly because of how we're mirroring. And just lining up the mirror now, just in between videos. It'll be ever so slight, and there's certain parts of where they have slideshows, where they ask people to take a picture with any signage. Thank you, Miranda, Save the Forest. And you're going to see a lot of those slideshows. Those don't have audio, so just so you know. So, without further ado, this is live stream number 2, which was 6:30 p.m. Eastern Australian time zone, but it was 2:30 in the a.m. Here on Friday, December 14th, 2012. This is the second time she has been live streaming from this treetop. 7 hours earlier, she was also doing it. As well, Miranda, this is her 1st anniversary celebrations, and Occupy Toronto does thank you. My name is Dee Shanger. I'm a mod and live stream director since day 1 here at Occupy Toronto live stream. So without further ado, here we go.
Meters up this giant eucalyptus tree in Tasmania's southern forests in the Tyana Valley. I'm here with, of course, Miranda Gibson, the champion tree sitter who's been up here for an entire year. Today she reached this epic and historic milestone. She's been perched up here for an entire year, advocating for protection for Tasmania's ancient forests on this tiny little platform. Thank you wherever you are for joining us, whether you're watching overseas, watching the live stream, or whether you're gathered in a small group in your local area. Thanks so much. We've had an awesome day. There's hundreds and hundreds of photos that have been posted up online. We've had actions from people everywhere, from Nepal to Cambodia to Canada to America. Where else? We've had, it's just been an epic day. My name's Ed, and I'm going to be emceeing this event. So welcome, and we'll hand over to the amazing Miranda Gibson.
Thanks, Ed. First of all, I want to say, thank you to all of the people who are watching, and there's a few community events happening around the country to watch this event. So hello to everyone in Hobart at the Hellenic Hall. Thanks for coming along. There's also events in Launceston, Melbourne, in Brisbane. We've got events happening in Alice Springs, Nimbin, Broome, Goongerah, Katoomba, and a whole range of other places. So welcome to everyone from wherever you are, or if you're watching online, and it's great to have you as part of this event. And as Ed said, it's been an absolutely inspiring day to see so many people getting out and supporting me. We've had over 100 photos coming in so far, so it's been really incredible.
Okay, so how the event is going to roll, you'll hear from me and Miranda. Also, we've got a number of really exciting guest speakers who will be joining us. Julia Butterfly is our first one. She is an amazing woman from the United States. She holds the world record for tree sitting. She spent over 700 days living in the canopy of an ancient redwood tree. In an effort to protect that tree. She's an incredibly inspiring woman. She's gone on to mass fame after she came down, and she tours the world doing speaking tours. She's written a book which is available in 11 languages. She's an incredible woman, and she was good enough to have some time to put this message together, this message of support for the amazing Miranda Gibson in the observatory.
1,000-year-old ancient redwood tree in Northern California in the United States for over 2 years without touching the ground. To permanently protect the tree, but to also call for permanent protection of our world's old-growth forests. I understand from first-hand experience how incredibly difficult and challenging the stand that Miranda Gibson is taking, living in a tree now for a year, to call for the permanent protection of Tasmania's old-growth forests. When we see someone like Miranda taking such great risks, risking her very life for a cause, we know that all systems are failing. Governments are failing in their responsibility to protect the public trust. Corporations are failing in their responsibility to provide goods and services that not only make our world a better place, but protect our planet for today and future generations. And consumers are failing in paying attention to what they buy and learning what and who is impacted by their consumer choices. It is an honor to stand in solidarity with Miranda and to call on all of you to stand in solidarity with Miranda, calling for the permanent protection of Tasmania's old-growth forests, but also calling for protection of our world's old-growth forest. Not only do they help provide a stable climate, they are some of the most important biodiversity banks on our planet, and they also are crucial in protecting the water that we need to survive. Thank you, Miranda, and I honor you on this 1-year anniversary of you living atop a beautiful tree, doing everything you can, risking your own life to call attention to the importance of these trees and these forests in our lives. Please, everyone who's watching, do everything that you can to support and to stand in solidarity. Together, we can change our world from being one that sees forests only as lumber and board feed, and instead sees our forests as an integral relationship that we co-relate with, protecting our planet for today and for all the children to come.
Wet sclerophyll forest, and it is amazing up here. Hey, you, when you're watching, if you're on Twitter, let the whole world know that you're watching the amazing Miranda Gibson, hashtag I stand with Miranda. Get on Facebook and share it. Get the message out there. Facebook is Observatory. Yeah, check that stuff out, and let the whole world now know that Miranda has been up here for 1 year, and get that message out there, because right now we're going to hear directly from Miranda. We just heard from Julia about some of her amazing experiences up the tree. Now we'll hear from Miranda, who is doing this right now as we speak, living and breathing this beautiful forest in a bid to protect it. So give it up for Miranda Gibson.
Thank you, Ed. Yeah, so I mean, as you would all know, I've been at the top of this tree for a year now, and I guess when I came up this tree on December 14, 2011, I had no idea how long I would be up here for, but I made the commitment that I would stay here until these forests are protected. The reason I came up was because this forest here that has been identified as World Heritage Value was actually promised protection by the government back in August last year. But that protection was never put in place. So on the 12th of December, logging machinery actually came into this area and started felling. And it was at that point, 2 days later, that I came up this tree, and what I wanted to do was to expose to the whole world the fact that these forests, these World Heritage and National Heritage Value forests, continue to remain under threat. And, you know, I think that from being up in the tree, it's been amazing to really be able to get that word out around the world. And I think today is, you know, an indication of how global that message has gone, and how many people right around this, right around the world, right around the country, are really standing with me in order to say we want these forests to be protected, and we want them to be protected now. So thank you to everyone. And, you know, I think that these times that we're in now, there's so much uncertainty in Tasmania about what is going to happen to the forest. One critical issue is that we really want to see these areas protected in World Heritage areas. They've been nominated now, they've been recommended now by scientists who have assessed the values of these forests. And the forest that I'm in right now, that this tree is standing in, has been recommended by scientists for World Heritage. And it's important that we put pressure on the government. They've got an opportunity coming up early in 2013 to put that nomination through and get that secure protection. So thank you to everyone today who's made signs and posted them on Facebook, or posted them on Twitter, and helping for us to call for that World Heritage protection. And I guess, you know, while I think that being in this tree is a great opportunity to spread that message, and I think it's really shown me that one person can really make a difference. I think it's also really important to remember that alone, on my own in the tree, there's no way I can protect all of these forests. So it's really about this action being the catalyst to inspire people in Tasmania and around the world to join with me. And I think only together, when the global community does stand up, that we will protect these forests. And it's definitely having an impact, because one of the critical issues that we're facing in Tasmania is the logging of these forests for a Malaysian company called Tar-An. They're actually selling those products that are made from these forests as environmentally friendly, and that product is being sold right around the world as an eco-friendly product. So it is important that people across the globe are calling on those companies to be accountable, to saying we don't want to buy products that are made from this sort of destruction, and to put that pressure on those companies to actually change their practices so that we can protect these forests. So another great thing that is quite easy to do is take a couple of minutes, if you haven't already, to jump online on the observatory website. There's a link to the cyber action that you can sign and send a message to those corporate customers. So I guess I also want to talk a little bit about my personal story, about what it's been like up in this tree for 365 days, every single day, waking up in this amazing forest. And, you know, while it has been a challenging experience at many times, and obviously, you know, there's a lot of difficulties to being in the tree constantly, and one of those things, I guess, is the isolation and the things that I've, you know, put on hold in my life, and my family and friends that I have to be away from. But I guess all of those challenges are definitely worth it, because I can see that it's making a difference, and it's also an incredible, amazing experience. And, you know, it's almost impossible for me to describe adequately how amazing it is to be in the upper canopy of this forest, and, you know, to be here and have a bird's eye view of all the birds that come to visit me, whether it's wedge-tailed eagles flying over above, or, you know, the cheeky, curious currawongs that come to visit my platform and hang out with me every day. It's just amazing to see how much wildlife this forest supports. And, you know, it's an entire ecosystem, and that's, you know, something I've really learned over this year is, you know, how incredible this ecosystem is. I've seen it now in all 4 seasons. I started here last summer and watched my tree come into bloom as it flowered, and then I've seen, you know, the forest in the middle of winter in the snow. One of the most amazing and beautiful experiences I've ever had, to watch this entire forest turn from green to white as the snow fell. So it has been an absolutely magical experience. And I guess through that experience, I've really come to understand and to strengthen my commitment to protecting these forests. And I hope that through the live stream, through the blog, through my videos that you can watch online, that people can also have that experience of understanding this upper canopy here, and to appreciate how magnificent these forests are and how important it is to protect them. So I definitely encourage everyone, if you're not already, to follow my blog and keep up to date with what's going on. As beautiful as it is, of course, I do wish that I didn't have to be here. And, you know, while it's an amazing milestone to have been here for a year, I think it's also really disappointing, because I would have liked to have got down a long time ago, and I would have liked for these forests to be protected a long time ago. I definitely didn't think when I came up here that a year would pass by, and right across Tasmania, throughout that entire year, forests of high conservation value would be continued to be destroyed, and that would be ongoing. And I don't know how much longer it's going to be that I'll be up here. So, you know, it is very disappointing, and I just hope that through this action, through this amazing show of global support, that we will have an outcome for these forests, and that we will find protection for them soon. So thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go to a talk now from Derek Jensen, who is an acclaimed author from the US. He's also got a background in environmental activism. He's best known for his work Endgame in 2006, which won him a massive award, the Press Action Person of the Year. He's written over 20 titles. He's published over 20 titles. He's won a whole swag of awards. In 2003, he wrote a book on forestry around the globe, which basically robustly laid out the inevitable ecological crisis that we face if deforestation has stopped. That book is strangely like war, well worth reading for anyone interested in deforestation. So we'll cross to Derek Jensen live now.
What you're doing. Thank you for who you are that caused you to act. Thank you. You're an inspiration to me and to so many others. An inspiration we desperately need. The dominant culture is killing the planet. It's long past time that those of us who care about life on Earth begin to take the actions necessary to stop civilization from destroying every living being. By now we all know the statistics and trends. 90% of large fish in the oceans are gone, 97% of native forests have been destroyed, as have 98% of native grasslands. There's 10 times as much plastic as phytoplankton in the oceans. Amphibian populations are collapsing, migratory songbird populations are collapsing, mollusk populations are collapsing, fish populations are collapsing, and so on. Have you noticed that you don't have to clean your windshield nearly as often as you used to? Even insect populations are collapsing. 200 species are driven extinct each and every day. This culture destroys land bases. That's what it does. Iraq used to have cedar forests so thick the sunlight never touched the ground. One of the first written myths of this culture is about Gilgamesh deforesting the hills and valleys of Iraq to build a great city. The Arabian Peninsula used to be oak savanna. The Near East was heavily forested. We've all heard of the cedars of Lebanon. Greece was heavily forested. North Africa was heavily forested. This culture destroys land bases, and it won't stop doing so because we ask nicely. Those who inherit whatever's left of the world once this culture has been stopped, whether through peak oil, economic collapse, ecological collapse, or the efforts of brave women and men resisting an alliance with the natural world, are going to judge us by the health of the land base, by what we leave behind. They're not going to care how you or I lived our lives, how hard we tried, or whether we were nice people. They're not going to care whether we were violent or non-violent. They're not going to care whether we grieved the murder of the planet. They're not going to care whether we were enlightened or not enlightened. They're going to care whether they can breathe the air and drink the water. The dominant culture cannot last. You cannot murder a planet and live on it too. This culture is reaching its endgame. There are no more continents to be discovered and exploited. We are seeing its collapse. But the question becomes, will it collapse when there is still life left on this planet? A great environmentalist and friend has often said to me why he does the work he does. We cannot predict the future, he says, and as things become increasingly chaotic, he wants to make sure some doors remain open. If sockeye salmon are alive in 10 years, he says, they may be around in 100. If they're gone in 10 years, they're gone forever. So he, like so many activists, is holding on by his fingernails, trying to save every last bit of wild nature, to save it as a refuge, a sanctuary from which life can return when this nightmare is over. In the face of the daily horrors created by this culture, people often ask me how I keep doing the work. The answer is that you help me persevere. People like you, Miranda, give me courage and give me strength. Your own courage and perseverance and love and brilliance comes through in your actions and in your words. You're an inspiration to me and to so many others, human and non-human alike. The forest knows what you're doing and loves you for it, loves you with a passion and joy and fury and ecstasy and courage and perseverance that matches your own. Social change makes no pretense of being solitary. Revolutions and other forms of social change require organization, solidarity, cooperation. This cooperation extends through time and across species, as we in the resistance hold hands with Wadaika, the witches, Tecumseh, Nat Turner, John Brown, Harriet Tubman, Lao Tse, Wesley Everest, Kartar Singh Sarabha, Maud Gunn, Eugene Debs, Eric Musen, Sophie Scholl, Hannah Sinesh, Ken Sarwe with a movement for the emancipation of the Niger Delta, polar bears, wolves, chimpanzees, salmon, tuna. Through all of my own work, my hand is extended, and I want you to take that hand if you wish, and to take the hands of all these others and draw what strength you can from each of us, and to take up where each of us has left off. But as you do this, make sure to keep all these hands in only one of yours. You'll need to keep your other hand free to make a fist or pick up a weapon, whether that weapon's pen, paintbrush, pistol, sabat, or whatever other weapon you will need to use in order to use your gifts in the service of your land base, in the service of stopping this culture from destroying life on Earth. The time for waiting is long since done. It's time to act. We're all supporting you and counting on you. The planet needs you. Not only words matter, but so do actions, and so do you. Through all of this, we need courage, which you obviously have aplenty, Miranda. The word courage comes from the same root as corps, the French word for heart. In order to face down this culture, we need all the courage of which the human heart is capable, forged into both weapon and shield to defend what's left of the planet. And the lifeblood of courage is, of course, love. So it's very clear to me and to everyone else that you're filled with courage. It's just as clear to me that you're full of love. And the songbirds and the salmon need your heart, no matter how weary, because even a broken heart is still made of love. They need your heart because they're disappearing, slipping into that longest night of extinction, and the resistance is nowhere in sight. We're going to have to build that resistance from whatever comes to hand, from whispers and prayers, history and dreams, from our bravest words and braver actions. It'll be hard and there'll be a cost, and in too many implacable dawns it will seem impossible, but we'll have to do it anyway. So I'd like for those to listen to this to gather your heart and join with Miranda and join with every living being. With love as our first cause, how can we fail?
World, listening and watching live on the internet on the live stream. Remember, send in your questions. You can do that through Facebook and Twitter. Hashtag I Stand With Miranda. Hey, today lots of amazing high-profile celebrities and politicians got behind Miranda Gibson, and we are sending out a big thank you to all you guys. They sent in a media release thanking Miranda for her epic effort up here, standing up and speaking out for Tasmania's forests. Big thank yous going out to Nick Cave, John Butler, Daryl Hannah, and of course Bob Brown and Christine Milne, among others, as well as Peter McQuillan, the professor from the University of Tasmania. Thank you so much. If you are watching, that support is so crucial to the campaign, and we can't thank you enough. Don't forget to send in those questions on Twitter and Facebook. And Miranda's going to answer a couple of your questions now. We've got some. Thank you very much to Edwin. Edwin sent in, you are such an amazing and inspiring person, Miranda. Best to you, Miranda. Greetings from Germany. What else have we got? Thank you to Paul Greenoff, who says, I stand with Miranda, and Murray Quaint. Big thanks to all you folks. Thank you to Genevieve, who says, Ed's looking sharp. Thanks, Jen. It's high arboreal fashion up here. Keep those questions coming. Keep those questions and comments coming. They're coming so fast that I'm losing track of them. It's hard to actually report them. Nicola Paris, thank you. She says, hey, you amazing lady, look forward to your broom hookup. Sharon Cummings says, go Miranda, you're an inspiration to all of us from around the world. We're cheering for you in Florida. So yeah, it's getting out there all over the world. Yeah. And Miranda's got a question from someone that she's going to read out now.
Yep, I've had a few questions coming through. So yeah, as Ed said, if you send them through Facebook and Twitter, as we go through the guest speakers, in between I'll be answering some of your questions. So I had a great question from Cassandra. who asked what I'm going to do to celebrate at Christmas. And as you know, that's coming up soon. It's going to be my second Christmas in the tree. And last year I actually had a visit from Santa up here, which was pretty exciting, and also had a great Skype chat with my family. And obviously hard to be away at times like that, but also an incredible place to spend Christmas as well. So thanks to that, to Cassandra for that question. I've also got a question here from Mark, who asks who I would like to visit most on my platform. And I think that's a great question. I've had quite a few amazing visitors so far. And I think, you know, one person that I would actually like to visit my platform is the Prime Minister. And I actually did invite her to come here when she came to Tasmania, to come up and have a cup of tea with me in the tree. And yeah, the reason I think it would be great to have her visit is because I'd really like to show her this forest and what it is that's at stake. Her choice to be involved in protecting these forests, or to allow them to be destroyed. So it would be great to, you know, be able to show her firsthand and say the responsibility is hers to enact that protection. Unfortunately, she never replied, so I'm still waiting for that answer. I have had some pretty incredible visits, and I've had amazing support from my family. Both my mum and my sister have come up to visit, and next week I'm having my dad come up, so that's pretty amazing. And you know, after being separated from them for such a long time, it's really incredible to have them get to the opportunity to come all the way up to the treetops, and of course very brave of them as well, especially my mum, who's never been camping before, so quite an incredible feat for her to come and camp not only in the forest but right at the top of a tree. So thanks to my mum, who'll be watching now from Brisbane and is going to even do a little talk and slideshow about her visit here for the Brisbane crew there as well. So another amazing visit I had was from former Senator Bob Brown, who's absolute legend in the Australian environment movement, and it was really great to have him come right up to the top of the tree, brought me a lovely cake, which we shared over a cup of tea, and had a discussion about these forests. And it was really incredible and really inspiring to hear from him and to have him visit the tree. And on that note, our next speaker is going to be Bob Brown, and yeah, it's going to be absolutely amazing to hear from him.
Yeah, we will hear from Bob in just a minute, but I just need to send a few more shout outs and thank yous to some of those people who participated in the media release, saying thanks to Miranda, who I forgot to mention. There was also the Aussie hip hop artist Earth Boy. There was also the whole team at the Tasmanian Greens: Cassie O'Connor, Paul O'Halloran, Nick McKim, Tim Morris. There was a whole swag. There's Derek Jensen, of course. There's so many that I've forgotten. Yeah, anyway, Blue King Brown, and Andrew Wilkie, the independent member for Denison. Andrew sent Miranda a message of support too. So thank you very much to all those people. And of course, thank you to Bob Brown, a man who needs no introduction whatsoever. As Miranda said, he is an absolute legend in conservation in Australia and around the world. We're really, really lucky to have him today, because he's also celebrating another massive milestone, which is the 30-year anniversary of the Franklin campaign, the day they commenced the blockade that effectively saved the Franklin 30 years ago today. So another historic milestone celebrating conservation in Tasmania. So we'll go to Bob now. Thank you, Bob, for your message. We love your support as always. So yeah, enjoy this talk from Bob Brown. Thanks.
Miranda, and congratulations on a year up that magnificent tree. This year I've spoken to literally thousands of people at conferences about the Tasmanian forest, but nothing gets the message across as much as calling you and having you through my phone and the microphone speak to those people. And as you know, there's always huge applause, whether I'm in Melbourne or Brisbane or Mornington or Perth. You're such a great spokesperson for our forests, and we're moving towards getting World Heritage listing of places like the forests and the tree you're sitting in. And nobody could have a greater claim to helping that success than you. Miranda, you're a terrific spokesperson, you're a courageous woman, you're a great Tasmanian, and I'm just so grateful to you and that tree for what you've done for this country. Enjoy the future.
Threaten southern forests. Hey, keep those questions coming. There's heaps of questions and comments that are pouring onto the live stream site right now. And remember, hashtag I stand with Miranda if you're on Twitter. And remember to share on Facebook and get this message out there. We've just got a message that's come in from Romy. She's in Argentina. Hey, keep those questions coming. There's heaps of questions. She's in Argentina. Romy is in Argentina, and it's 4:30 a.m. And she says, I'm up, even though it's 4:30 a.m. because I stand with Miranda. Thanks, Romy. Over to you, Miranda.
Yeah, great. There's been a couple of questions that I'm going to answer, and yeah, keep those questions coming. I'll try to answer as many as I can. So we've got a question here. What's the most important thing that we can do on the ground for the forest? And that question comes from Harriet. So yeah, a great question. And I think that, you know, as I said, it's really important to have that global support, because that is the thing that's going to get these forests protected. And so there's so many ways that people can help out. And obviously, as we've been saying tonight, one great thing that you can do is to take part in the global action that is a part of this live stream. So if you haven't already, then get out your pen and paper, make a sign. You can put your message about why you want to see these forests protected, get a photo and post it up on Facebook, on Twitter, or email it to us. We're going to collect all of those, and it's going to be a visual petition that we can use to show the government and to show the companies involved and the industry that people around the world stand with me, people around the world stand with these forests, and that people want to see them protected. So it's one great way that people can take part right now, today, to do something for the forest. There's also, you know, on the website, our link to the cyber action where people can send a message to the corporate customers of tar and to let them know that you do not want to see these forests destroyed, and that you do not want to see these areas being decimated in order to produce wood that is then labelled as environmentally friendly. So get online, take part in that cyber action. It's had thousands of people signing it, and it's really sending a really strong message that's having a big impact on the industry. So definitely keep up those messages to those companies. So thank you for that question. And I'll go to another question now. This question comes from Christy, who says, if I can describe the best day that I've had up in the tree. It's probably quite hard to pick the best one, because, I mean, really, out of 365 days, they've all been amazing. And, you know, every single day up here is different. It's amazing. You'd think that maybe I would get a bit bored of the view. You know, it's been, you know, the same spot every single day, but I never do, because it's absolutely a unique day every day. I wake up and I watch the sunrise over the mountains. I watch the mist roll through the valley. I see all the birds come to visit me, and I just think it's been a unique day every single day to see this forest. And yeah, so I think it's probably too hard for me to choose the best day, though I'd have to say that today is probably definitely up there as one of the best, because it has been really, for me, one of the most inspiring days, because I've been able to see that I am not alone. I'm joined by so many others. I remember a comment being made on the Facebook once that, you know, there's so many people up here on the platform with me in spirit that it must be pretty crowded, and I think it's probably the truth, because it's I know that I'm not alone on this platform, and that there's thousands of people around the world supporting, and today's really been an indication of that. So it's been really touching to see all the amazing messages coming through. So yeah, I think today one of the best days in the observatory, so thank you.
Okay, yeah, as Miranda said, keep those questions coming. Keep Facebook and Twitter going off, because it's going off right now. So yeah, keep it coming. We're going to go to another speaker now, a woman who probably needs very little introduction, just like Bob Brown. She is the leader of the Australian Greens, Christine Milne. Christine Milne's been so supportive of the campaign to protect Tasmania's forests. She's like a solid rock in Canberra, the voice of reason, the voice of sanity in a political landscape that often completely ignores the environment and promotes unsustainable development. And we really appreciate having her up there in Canberra and her supporting us here. And we really support, we're really glad that she gave the time to record this talk. And here it is now, Christine Milne joining us. Thanks.
I have to say, you are an amazing woman. You are so inspiring to everyone who cares about saving our planet for future generations. Where other people talk about it, you have given up a year of your life to document the forests, to follow our wonderful species like the Tasmanian devil, to look at the changing of the seasons, to feel those changes in the forests, to watch the birds come and go. And you've told the whole world this story. You've told people that these magnificent forests in Tasmania will be logged if people don't stand up for them. People have been campaigning for the saving of high conservation value forests for a long time. To look at the changing of the seasons, to feel those changes in the forests, to watch the birds come and go. And you've told the whole world this story. You've told people that these magnificent forests in Tasmania will be logged if people don't stand up for them. People have been campaigning for the saving of high conservation value forests for a long time. Those changes in the forests, to watch the birds come and go. And you've told the
Okay, you're back live at the observatory, 60 metres up in the upper canopy of this ancient eucalypt forest with the legendary Miranda Gibson. Keep those questions and comments coming. We've just received an awesome comment, actually, from Leja. Leja's in Pakistan, and he says, thanks for protecting rainforests. Where we live, there are no forests left, and we face harsher weather and erosion. What can we do globally to restore forests?
Yeah, great question, and it's amazing to have comments coming in from all around the world. And I think that international solidarity and looking after the environment on a global scale is going to be so important. And we'll be hearing soon from another campaign from across the world looking at protecting their environment from destruction faced by a proposed pipeline. So we'll be hearing from them soon. There's also been amazing international solidarity right around the world for this campaign, and also linking in with other campaigns across the world. And one important link that we've had in Tasmania has been across to Malaysia in the state of Sarawak. The people of Sarawak are being impacted by logging, and the company that we have here in Tasmania, Tar-An, is actually responsible for the logging and destruction of the environment over in Sarawak as well. And one of the most devastating things is that so many people, Indigenous people in those communities, are being displaced from their homelands, from the lands that they depend on for their survival, and they're being displaced because of the destruction of the environment through logging companies and the timber industry, which Tar-An is involved in. Also, another connection from Tasmania to Sarawak is that the government business enterprise here, Hydro Tasmania, has recently been involved in talking and being a part of the proposed construction of massive dams. These dams are set to flood large areas which would displace thousands of Indigenous people. And these are people who have not been informed about what's going to happen to them. They haven't given their consent for their homes to be flooded, for their villages to be flooded and their homelands to be destroyed. So it's really important to have that international solidarity, particularly when it's our government that's involved in that process. And I was lucky enough to talk via Skype with some of the community leaders in Sarawak recently and talk to them about their campaign. They came over to Australia to do a tour, and hopefully a lot of you got along to see it, and if not, definitely check it out online. Find out more at savesarawakrivers.com. There's lots of information. So I'm also going to go to another question now, and this question comes from Lilia, and the question is, has there been any more sign of the baby devil near the tree? And for those that have been following my blog would know about the devils that we've had at the bottom of the tree here, and a group of very committed conservationists from Still Wild, Still Threatened have been involved in putting out remote sensor cameras in this forest, and those cameras detect wildlife, and through that we've seen that there's healthy Tasmanian devils living in this forest. One of the incredible things that we found was the day before logging began, footage was captured of a mother Tasmanian devil taking food to its young. And this was very distressing because when logging began, there was a real risk that those baby devils could become trapped and die in their den. And it's really amazing that, having been in the tree only a few days after I came up the tree, and the media spotlight meant that the logging ceased and hasn't started again in this area. And that really gave those devils a chance of survival. So it was, with very much excitement that footage was taken a few months later of those juvenile devils out of the den and exploring the world, and it was absolutely incredible to see them. So it's such important for these forests to be protected for so many reasons, and definitely protecting our endangered species and the habitat is one of those key reasons. So thanks, Lilia, for that question.
Okay, we'll just read out a couple more questions. Amber Ella's joining us from Berlin. Amber says she's watching the live stream now from Berlin in happy tears. And she says, Herslichen Dank for everything you're doing, Miranda. Alex Kelly says, so deeply inspired by your action and tenacity. Thank you. Great words there, Alex. I think tenacity is a very appropriate word to describe you, Miranda. And it's also a word that's probably good to use to describe the campaign in Canada at the Unistoten camp, which we're going to be crossing to right now. This is a camp that's been set up by an Indigenous community, I believe, to stop the building of a pipeline through a pristine ecosystem. I think the pipeline is going to be used for tar sands and a gas project. I don't know much about the campaign myself, so we might just cross to them to find out. Enjoy this talk from the wonderful campaigners at the Unistoten camp.
Amazon clan, and my wife here is Frida Houston, and
I'm from the Unistoten people of the Headwaters, and this is whose territory we're on. It's my territory, my clan's.
We're really, really proud of what you're doing, It's amazing the level of commitment that you have. There's a lot of people who are really inspired by the work that you're doing, and it really inspires us. You know, we're out here on the land with our supporters, protecting this territory, and we need more people like you. We need a lot more people like you out there willing to do what it takes to stop these companies from coming in and destroying these lands. What you're doing is admirable. You're protecting entire ecosystems that are still intact from being logged and replaced with these plantations that are designed to just allow people to come back in and log another 80 years from now, or 50 years, or however long it takes for these trees to grow. And we're basically doing the same fight. The fight that we're doing up here is to try and protect what's left of the old growth forest. There's not too much of it left. You know, these logging companies they're greedy. They're hungry. The largest sawmill in the world is located down this road. The road that we take to come up to our camp up here has the world's largest sawmill on it. Canfor opened up the world's largest sawmill, I believe it was in 2004, and they want to destroy everything that is needed for us to sustain not just ourselves but our culture. We're out here physically stopping a pipeline from coming onto our territory, but we're also active in protecting the territory from other industrial activities. Last August we had an action camp where about 200 people came in from all over the world to come and support us, and it was a beautiful experience, one of the most powerful experiences that a lot of people had, including us, in a really long time. And there's workshops that occurred during that time period. Different people kept coming in throughout the days to participate in the workshops that we had. It's a long trek to get out here, but a lot of the people actually risk driving up these logging roads, these dangerous logging roads, because there's a lot of logging activity back here. And during the action camp, we actually stopped a logging company called Canfor. Canfor wanted to come in and log out the areas back here, and when we asked them to have a look at their logging plans, we realized that they were actually logging large blocks along the right-of-way, the proposed right-of-way for the pipelines that want to come through here. And previous to that, a year before, we confronted Canfor out on the territory here because they were actually logging a huge swath of land across the Gosnell Creek, which is the place where a lot of the salmon that we depend on give birth to their young. And they logged, what was it, 25 kilometers? About a 25 kilometer swath of land along the Gosnell Creek, right up to the creek. There was hardly any buffer zones or no buffer zones in a lot of the areas that they logged to protect the salmon. And they started logging on the eastern side just this past year, and huge swaths of land started to be cleared. And we stopped them from coming. So we've been active out here on the territories for quite a few years. We're grassroots people. We're here to protect the lands. These lands are unceded. They belong to us. They have never been transferred over. There's no document anywhere that says that we've transferred the rights of these territories to anybody else. So the government's been notified of this, industry's been notified of this, and all of the other sellout Aboriginal people out there, whether they come from Indian bands or tribal councils or boardroom people, they've all been notified that the territories are no longer going to be under any of their control. They belong to the grassroots people. We're the ones that live here out on the territories. We're the ones that are occupying these places. We're the ones that are protecting them, because it's our unborn's future that's at risk, and we're not going to let anybody jeopardize that.
Back to live in the observatory, and thanks to everyone that's out there and been sending in so many comments, questions, and I'm going to answer a couple more of those questions now. So I've had a few questions about my perspective and what I think about the forest agreement that has been recently signed. And I think this is a really important issue to talk about, because I think one of the problems that we face is that after the signing of the agreement, a lot of people probably out there right across the country are under the impression that these forests are protected. And I guess if that was the case, I wouldn't be in the tree today. So absolutely, these forests remain under threat. There is still no certainty if or when they'll be protected. And so because this forest could be cut down at any time, as well, forests right across the state that have been identified as national and world heritage value are still being cut down, and we're coming now into the summer season, a season where there's going to be large areas of forest destroyed in Tasmania. So despite the signing of the agreement, there still is no guaranteed protection, and that's why it's so important that we still continue to speak up on behalf of these forests to say that the logging needs to end in these verified high conservation value areas. Even if the agreement does go ahead, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of securing protection and also looking at changes in the industry. We cannot go forward with the future in Tasmania with large-scale destruction of native forests. And any ongoing industry that locks in things like wood chipping or biomass, which is the burning of these forests to create electricity, that kind of large-scale destruction of native forests is going to be completely unacceptable. It's not going to be acceptable in the international marketplace to people who want to buy products that are environmentally friendly. And so it's definitely not the way forward for Tasmania. So I think it's really important that we stand together as a global community and say enough is enough. We cannot continue to destroy these ancient ecosystems. They're absolutely irreplaceable, and once we destroy these areas, we decimate them, we're not going to be able to get them back. So it's so important that we maintain them for the sake of the climate, for water, and for endangered species, and a range of other reasons. So thank you so much for everyone that's sent in questions about the forest agreement. It's a very important topic at the moment, and I hope you'll find out more. There's a few little videos on my blog, as well as a written critique about concerns around that agreement that has been done by myself and Jenny Webber from the Huon Valley Environment Centre.
Okay, thanks, Miranda. Keep those comments rolling in. We've just received one from Joe in East Gippsland. 2 green thumbs up for you, Miranda. We stand with you from the forests of East Gippsland. And big shout outs to all the crew at the Goonga Environment Centre who we know are currently blockading old growth logging in that area. Big ups to the Gecko crew and everyone around Australia fighting for the protection of our native forests. Now we have a special part of tonight's event, a special ceremony and a sort of presentation of sorts. Shall we move to that now? Sorry if you're seeing so much of our heads. It's just that we're on a tiny little platform. If I push my chair back a little bit more, it's 60 meters down to the forest floor. So that's why you're seeing our heads. They're so large. We have a little presentation now for Miranda's special epic milestone of 1 year in the tree. So we thought we'd haul a special present up the tree for Miranda in honor of her milestone, in honor of all the amazing work that she's done, bringing the forests of southern Tasmania right to the world and showcasing their special values before they are logged. So we have this beautiful chocolate cake for you, Miranda. Let's get a good shot of it. And would you like to do the honors, Miranda, and cut this beautiful cake?
Oh, thank you. It looks absolutely amazing.
So if everyone wants to, I don't know if can all get it together to do this, but maybe we could sing happy birthday to the tree. So Miranda, take the knife. Can everyone get it together, do you reckon? On three. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear observatory. 400-year-old eucalyptus delicatensis. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hooray! I hope you're all clapping and cheering. We can't hear you, but we know you are. Oh, there's some people clapping at the bottom of the tree. Yay! Big shout outs to the ground crew today at the bottom of the tree. So thank you for that if you did sing happy birthday to the tree. This tree's had probably about 300 and something birthdays before, but this is its first birthday as the observatory with its new best friend, Miranda Gibson.
Well, thanks, Ed. Amazing cake, and yeah, I'm sure the tree absolutely appreciated that. Happy birthday from not just here but right around the world. So amazing. And yeah, now is a great time to get out and take a photo. So we really would love to see pictures of everyone that's been watching, whether you're in a group or on your own on the computer. We'd really like to have those pictures coming in and yeah, make a sign about why you want to see the forest protected, get a photo and post them up on Facebook. So our Facebook observatory, and also on Twitter using hashtag #IStandWithMiranda. You can also send those through by email if you're not on Facebook and Twitter, and that's observatory2011@gmail.com. And we're going to give you a little bit of time now to go and take that photo, and for also to check out and be inspired by some of the photos that we've had coming in. We've had over 100 come in from around the world. So we're going to cross now to a little slideshow of some of the photos that have come in, and then take your photo, upload it, and we'll come back very soon.
Good view, eh?
Great cake.
Oh, hello. Back live here at the observatory. Birthday party, first year birthday party. Yeah. So really good cake. We hope you enjoyed all those pictures. Now I mentioned before that I was perched on the edge of this platform, and that Miranda and I's, our faces are very close to the camera because we're right on the edge of this platform. Below us is a big drop, 60 meters. Some of you are probably wondering what the rest of the space here is like and how Miranda lives. So now you're in for a treat, because Miranda's going to take you on a tour of her house.
Yeah. So I think the most important part of my house, the best part, is really the view. So I will show you that first. And you have already seen a little bit of what is behind us. Absolutely an amazing, spectacular ridge of a beautiful forest. And I think that out there is my favourite view. And then as we come around this way, we've got the view of the entire Diana Valley, which is surrounded by mountain ranges, the snowy ranges, and I'll give you a bit of a view. Unfortunately, you might be able to see there's a few clear fells out there that have been logged in recent years, and it's very sad to see them scarring the landscape. And I think, when I look out across this forest and I see, those wounds on the landscape, those clear fells, and I think it makes me even more determined to stay here and make sure that that is the last of its kind in this area, and that these forests are never destroyed in that way. So coming around now, we'll go into what's my house, and I have a very amazing house because I'm just going through the front door, and my house is made by, out of a clear tarp, and it's very amazing because when it rains it means I can be inside and I can still look out over the amazing forest, and when I look up at night from my bed I can see the stars. So it's probably the best bedroom in the world, I'd say, and this is where I sleep. That's my bed, and this is basically the rest of the house, where I have all of my things stored. So basically everything that I need to survive up in the tree for every single day for the past year, I've got stored in my little house. So we'll go back out the door, and this is the amazing top of the observatory, and looking down to the ground, a place that is almost a bit of a myth to me now because it's hard for me to remember what it's like down there. And now we're coming out onto the deck, and this is where I like to do my exercise in my own personal gym.
Yeah. I'm just updating my status while doing some leg exercises.
Amazing, my amazing little walking machine that ensures that I don't forget how to walk. So obviously I can only go a couple of steps at a time up here, so yeah, I don't want to get to the ground after being up here for who knows how long and have forgotten how to walk. So as Ed's demonstrating my amazing walking machine, and that's basically the whole tour of my house.
Wow, amazing house, eh? Priceless, some would say.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's great to be up here on this platform, and as I said, I think the most amazing thing about my house is the view, and I think when I do eventually get down, even though it'll be amazing, and hopefully we'll be getting down to celebrate the forest, I think I'll always have a special place in my heart for this amazing tree and this amazing view, and I think in fact I'll probably miss it quite a lot when I get back down. So hopefully while the slideshow was going, you all had time to take a photo. And as I said before, we're really looking forward to seeing all of those photos. We're going to collect them and use them to show the government, to show the industry, to show the world that there's so many people out there that want to see these forests protected. So if you haven't already, it's quite easy to make a sign, say why you want to see the forest protected, why you stand with me in these forests, and yeah, upload that. So we're going to have a go at crossing soon to another amazing campaign to show solidarity and to get a message of support over there, and I hope you'll bear with us. We hope that the technology will work, but obviously from the treetops right out to remote communities across the country, it can be very hard to manage the technology. So we're just hoping it's going to work. But we're going to try to cross over now to the community in Broome. And as many people will know, the community there are facing their own environmental battle to protect the precious Kimberley, and we would really be honoured today to hear from people in that community, from the Indigenous people, the Galarabaloo, who are fighting to protect their country. So hopefully this works, and we'll be delighted to have a message from that community.
Hi, Miranda. Hey, this is Nicola. Tegan's going to talk a little bit and let you guys know what we're doing over here in Broome. So, we're fighting our own battle up here in Broome, but we fully support you, Miranda. From the Broome community, from Galarabaloo and the No Gas campaign, we support you 100%, and we're just stoked at your dedication for the forest in Tassie and how solid you've been staying up that tree for one whole year. And because I visited you up there, and so I know how tiny it is. So I've got personal experience to understand like how hard it must be to be up there for a whole year in a really isolated spot where you've got to drive a few hours and then walk a few hours just to get to you. So thank you from us here for fighting for those forests. Philip Rowe, Galarabaloo law boss, was just here about 5 minutes ago. He just had to go. He's got business to attend to, but he was here about 5 minutes ago, and he said, full respect to you, and he said, you're a champion, and keep fighting, and we'll keep fighting here, and he said, together, we're going to win. I don't know if we can hear you, but I guess we'll find out when you either speak to us or cross back.
And welcome back to the observatory. Absolutely inspiring to hear from the crew campaigning, working so hard to protect the Kimberley, and yeah, it was really inspiring to hear their messages of support, and I hope everyone listening will find out a bit about that campaign and definitely support that, because I think it's, you know, such an important issue to be protecting the environment right across all of the landscapes that are under threat from, you know, in industries like mining, industries like the logging industry, the wood chipping industry, right across this country and across the world. So it's been great today to be linking up with amazing campaigners here in Australia, right around the world, and hearing from a whole range of people. And I think working together is the best chance that we've got to really protect these areas. So big thank you to the Broome crew.
Big ups. So we'll keep those questions coming. Miranda's got, there's so many of them. There's some there's some really good ones and some really, really nice comments. Thanks to Carol Davey, who says, "It's your birthday, Miranda. Inspire the planet. Amazing." Yeah, so keep them coming. We're almost running out of time, but we'll answer a few more questions.
Yeah, so I'm going to just answer a couple more questions, and then after that, well, we're going to go back to the slideshow. So you got to see a little snippet of it before, but there's so many more photos for you to check out. So after we wrap up, stick around online, check out the slideshow, and don't forget to give your put your own photo in there, and we'll add it onto the slideshow. Also, after we've wrapped up, I'm going to be sticking around online, and you'll be able to keep those questions coming while the slideshow's going, and I'll be typing in a few answers. So yeah, if you've got more questions or your question hasn't had a chance to be answered yet, definitely stick online around online afterwards. And you know, we've got amazing events right around the country, so I'm sure that after we've wrapped up as well, if you're at one of those events, there's going to be local guest speakers, music, and a whole range of other things happening after the live stream as well. And
also a big shout out to everyone in Hobart. Unfortunately, we had a technical glitch. We were going to bring you some of the live speakers from Hobart, but we've had a technical glitch. But yeah, they all really appreciate you guys tuning in and hearing the amazing stories from this incredible woman, Miranda.
yeah, absolutely. I want to have a big shout out to all the crew in Hobart who have really helped to pull this event together, and all the people around the world who have helped to pull it together. So thank you. And yeah, it sounds like it's been going really great in Hobart, even though we didn't get a chance to beam those messages out to you. There was some great speakers, and yeah, so much support from the local community here in Tasmania. So yeah, a big thank you to everyone who's attended the Hobart event, and there'll be photos up online from that crew as well. So we'll just go to answering a couple of last questions. I've got a question here from Linda about have any critters moved in with you? And yeah, a great question. I have a lot of critters living up here in the observatory, and I think people who have been following my blog probably have been keeping up to date with my progress on getting used to living with spiders. Definitely been something that I found a little bit tricky over the time, and now that it's coming back into summer, there's a lot more critters out and about as well, and having those spiders trying to get into my swag and curl up in pretty much everything that I own up here. So definitely a lot of spiders, but also I've got lots of little insects, little skinks as well that live in the tree. I see them coming in and out of little hollows that are in the branches, and yeah, they're definitely coming back out now that the weather's getting warmer. Also, I guess my most common companions are definitely the birds, and it's been an amazing journey to become, to learn so much about the birds up here, to get used to a whole range of different birds and their different patterns on a daily basis and over the seasons, and how that changes as well. And trying to learn the different calls so that I can recognise them has been, yeah, really fun as well. So thanks to Linda for that great question. And yeah, we've got a few other questions here. I've got a statement that's come in from Iran, from George, saying that about how important forests are for water catchment, and that over there they have seen water disappear after areas have been logged, and asking if that's similar to what happens in Tasmania. Definitely, this is a critical issue. These forests are important water catchment areas. In particular, this area is due to be cable logged, which is a type of logging that is designed to log on really steep slopes, and it's very disastrous for the soil and for the waterways. There's so many creeks and underground water systems in this area, and all of those would be affected if logging was allowed to proceed here. So thanks for that comment from the other side of the world, and looking at a lot of the same issues there as well. So yeah, we're just about out of time now. So thank you so much to all of those people who have sent in questions, and I've tried to answer as many as I can, but as Ed said, they're just coming in so fast. So yeah, sorry if I've missed out on your question, but there'll definitely be some time online after this. And of course, I'm always would love to hear from you. So even after this is over, please keep in touch. You can always send me your questions and comments on the Facebook site, Twitter, and also by email. So yeah, and check out the blog and keep up to date with what's going on.
Yeah, and keep spreading those messages and sharing on the social media networks. Even if friends of yours haven't participated in today's action and made a sign and uploaded a photo to Facebook, they can do it this week. They'll just be added to the collection, which will be a really valuable asset for the campaign. So continue to get the word out there. Tell all your friends about it. Get online, read the blogs, donate to the campaign. Miranda runs off the smell of an oily rag. Literally, she's doing amazing work off very, very, very small budget with minimal resources, supported entirely by volunteers. So get online, follow the campaign, plug it through your networks, find people to donate. We get bang for buck. Miranda gets bang for buck. Yeah, she pulls off amazing work with absolutely nothing. But yeah, big thank you to everyone right around the world, from Nepal to Argentina, from Canada to New Zealand, Tasmania to Alice Springs. This has been epic, and yeah, such is the nature of tree sitting and Miranda Gibson.
Yeah, thank you so much to everyone, and yeah, I hope you've really enjoyed the live stream, and looking forward to catching up with you in the future. Check out the blog. I'm so excited to check out all the photos after this is over, so I hope you've uploaded yours, and yeah, let's have a chat on the live stream while you can check out the photos, amazing, from around the world today. So thank you, and good night.
Good night.
state and federal governments to honour the agreement that they have made and to help Tasmania to move forward to a sustainable future by protecting our high conservation value forests. Dear Miranda, we are 3-4 Steiner. We have made a scarf just for you. I know that you are saving lots and lots and lots and lots of trees. We love you and what you are doing for the world.
Being up here with Miranda. I mean, millions of Australians are supporting Miranda in spirit, and so have I been, and sending her messages, of course. But to be here actually with her and this fabulous tree and these forests and this wildlife and this natural planet is just a real joy. I've brought Miranda the best wishes of lots and lots of people. I know you'll be with them, and I hope one day you'll be able to come out to this tree and see it when it's safe in World Heritage, because Miranda made this brilliant stand in this fantastic tree.
Yeah, folks. Alrighty. So, thank you for tuning in. My name is Dee Shanger. I'm a mod and live stream director here at Occupy Toronto, and I'm glad that we were asked to, for lack of a better way of putting it, be the official live stream for North America. There was a Facebook page about that. And thank you for Sakura from Occupy Toronto and Occupy Toronto live stream, who's a dear friend of Miranda Gibson, for making the hookup. Thank you for Global Revolution, Occupy Wall Street's live stream, for mirroring this feed here. And I'm just about to upload it on YouTube, and if you're watching on it, boom, there you go. So just so you understand, as an archivist, I'm an anthropological documentary filmmaker by trade, and I've been live streaming for 11 years. What you just saw was exactly what was live streamed. It was from their new.livestream.com observatory live stream. So everything that was played. There was one slight problem halfway through. The leader of the Green Party in Australia, I don't know, the video wouldn't play. I tried. Yeah, stay tuned. Occupy Toronto is going to follow this. We're actually, hopefully, maybe we could do a Skype interview with Miranda, and I would love Sakura to do that. But just a shout out to everybody. I think it was great. Live streaming from a treetop, Tassie Forest in southern Tasmania, Australia. And she's been there for 1 year. She's on a 400-year-old eucalyptus tree, which for those that don't know those giants, and she's 60 meters up. That's almost 200 feet. And the eucalyptus tree is the largest flowering plant. And even though it's cold up here in the northern hemisphere here in Toronto, it's really warm down there. Yeah, I just love everything about that. And we're going to continue to follow Miranda's story. And by the way, this is only the second time she's been live streaming. I think she's going to be live streaming a lot more. And then about 7 hours earlier, that's where part one was. That was her actual first time. And these were the only two live streams from the treetop there in Tassie Forest in southern Tasmania. Yeah, you've all seen the Tasmanian Devil with Bugs Bunny. Hey, you better not mess with Bugs Bunny. Okay, enough of that. So thank you for tuning in. Occupy Toronto live stream out. And as we live streamers don't never say bye, we say see you on the live chat, folks. See you on the live chat. Ciao. Well, hey, wait. Oh, one last thing. Yeah, just to remind you that with the what you would call it, the just remember the music. There was no audio except for a little part in the slideshow part, and I know it repeated a bit, but all to say as an archivist, I played everything in order of what they streamed. So you saw it as that exact duplicate, warts and all, with the exception of halfway through the video, so probably about a minute and a half of what the Green Party leader of Australia was said. Other than that, boom, it's saved. And it's going to YouTube right now. Thank you for tuning in. See you